who is your favorite Office character?
Michael Scott always. It goes
He,
Naomi Campbell, Michael Scott, others.
Katie Henry.
Well, welcome to the Allegedly podcast with your hosts, Katie and Dakota.
Hey,
Hey,
what's poppin'?
my ass.
Oh, that's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
So today we have been graced with a ton of questions just because,
Mm-hmm.
we're at this social status and point in our fame where people just want to know a lot about us, which is great. I'm
People
happy for
don't know
you.
enough. People don't know enough.
People don't know every crevice, and until we know every crevice of Katie and Dakota, like we're gonna keep sharing about ourselves.
There's so many crevices. It's crazy.
No, so we are going to do a little fun Q&A
Should we call it
episode.
Q&Gay for Pride?
We love pride. We love pride. Answer questions for pride. We love that. So, do you want me to just let her rip?
Yeah, let's hear one. What crevice are we going into right now?
Okay. So, first question. Do you already have some arrangements in case you die at a young age?
So I guess I don't have anything formal, you know what I mean? But
Right.
since she's a woman of wealth these days, I it's kind of funny. I had a conversation once with my brother Zach, and we were like on a hike or something, and I remember saying like, oh, like if I were to die, I would want the money that I have to go towards like a vacation for my entire family to go to like Hawaii for a little bit, because like I feel like I'm a big Hawaiian girl, and I feel like
Yeah.
my parents have never been. So yeah, I think
Oh,
that I would want them to like have an experience with my money together, because I feel like we
okay.
didn't like vacation a lot or like go
Right.
anywhere exotic other than just like Indiana, which is always a good time. Shout out to Indiana.
I love the beaches and the exoticness of Indiana.
But yeah, that was like something that I actually said once, which is kind of
Totally.
interesting. But yeah, what about you?
I don't, which is I just like don't really think I'm gonna die young,
I mean, I
but
don't
I guess you
either.
you
You never
truly just
know.
like you never really know. So, I think if I do die young, like someone needs to take care of Elliot. Like I'm just leaving behind a whole bunch of responsibilities. Like I'm not
Not I. Not I.
it's like if I did die young, like we're not leaving like all the fame and fortune. Like we're just leaving a laundry list of chores. Like
Baggage.
it's not
Baggage.
like like good luck cleaning out my clothes. Like she buys a lot of things. So I just
Mm-hmm.
feel yeah, I feel sorry if I did die young. I feel sorry for the folks who need to deal with that. So
Mm.
what a fun and morbid way to start out this Q&A episode.
It's an interesting
Okay.
question, though. I like that.
Oh no, it totally is. I feel like I should maybe think about it, but I
Well,
I feel
most
like
people our
I'm
age don't ever have either just like not had that conversation, or because like we're all
totally.
invincible, you know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I'm kind of on the vibe though that like I would want like a celebration of
mm-hmm.
my life. Like I would want like a party. Like I wouldn't want it to be like, hey, let's like go to like cry all together. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all better cry for me if I die young, um but no, like I think I would want it to be a fun thing. I wouldn't want
Yeah. I
everyone just
think you wish for a positive experience, like in like commemoration or whatever the word is, you know?
totally. Do you want to be cremated or like full body buried?
I feel like full body buried is kind of just a lot to ask, you know? I feel like a little
Totally.
cremation is fine with me. I don't even really need to be like, I feel like, yeah, I think that's the way to go these days, you know? She's a
Totally.
minimalist all the way to the death.
Totally. I too am a part of the cremation nation. Like please. No, I agree. Spread my
I
ashes in
love that.
Sephora.
I'll put it in Elliot's litter box.
Please don't. That's disgusting.
Oh.
Okay. What are your enneagrams? Are they fitting to you and do they match you being good friends? Do you know yours? Because when I read this question, I was like, I don't know that Dakota knows his.
So, can you just give me a quick little explanation of what anagram is?
Okay, you absolutely don't know what it is.
Never heard of
Okay,
her.
so it's a personality test that basically like
Mm.
tells
Like
like
the letters?
no, that's the Myers-Briggs, I think,
Oh, yeah,
test.
yeah, yeah.
There's a few
Lots of
floating around
tests.
out there. Yeah, I can't remember. I think I'm an INFP, maybe. I don't know.
I think
I
I'm
don't
a
know.
E and
Um,
oh, I was about to shut off a lot of letters. I was about to say ENTFP.
there's only
That
four
sounds like too
letters.
many.
No, but I think there can be like a dash with more letters, so you could be right.
I'm supposed to be the same as Adele, which I don't know who discovered what Adele is, but
Oh, shout out. No,
hmm
an Enneagram test is very much a personality test and how, I don't know, like literally how your personality is. Like for
hmm
me, I am a type 2, which is the helper. So I'm a people pleaser. I will do anything for everyone. I operate to like make other people happy, which is very accurate to me. So sorry that I had a feeling that you didn't know what it was.
No, but I know what my love languages are.
Oh, what are your
Do you
love
know what that is?
languages?
Do you know about that test?
Absolutely, I know my love languages.
I am big on quality time. Like that's always number one.
Yep.
I think quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch. If there might be another one, and then gifts. I'm the lowest on gifts. What's the other one that I'm missing?
Um, let's see.
Must not be very important if
Um,
we can't remember.
oh, acts of service. So people doing things for you.
Oh, yeah. Mm-mm. Not very
Okay.
high.
So your main one you said is quality time, words of affirmation, and touch.
Mm-hmm. What are your tops?
So my top one is words of affirmation. Like I need that to like
Mm-hmm.
thrive. And then I think mine are the same as you. I know number 2 is quality time. I think that gift and physical touch maybe are like next. I can't remember which order. And
Mm-hmm.
then I think acts of service maybe is last. But
Mm-hmm.
the interesting thing about love languages is like the way I receive it versus how I give is different. Like
Mm-hmm.
the way I give love is 100%, well, two, I think. Giving gifts, which is real bad financial situation for your sister,
Right.
and words of affirmation. Like those are my two things.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
was
guess
wondering if you were gonna say like I give a quality time because I'm a good ass time.
wow, I'm not that catchy. No, but I just think that's kind of interesting because whenever I did take the test, give uh like gifts or whatever was low, but I'm like let me just like buy you all the things, let me donate, let me like whatever it is. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's
See, I'm not good at
definitely
that.
I just like wish I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would be a lot richer if I wasn't.
For
Um
sure.
Okay. Who is your favorite Office character?
Michael Scott always.
Okay.
What
Mine's
about you?
well, is yours Michael Scott because like just because you think
He's
he's
an icon.
okay. Well, I agree with that. Like
It goes
he
Naomi Campbell, Michael Scott, others.
Katie Henry somewhere
Yeah.
in there. I do love Michael Scott. Obviously, I feel like that's obvious, and I love Dwight. Like those are just like two fantastic characters. But I resonate with Kelly Kapoor, so we got to give a
Mm.
shout out to my girl because your girl is just as psycho about men as she is. So every single time I see her being like cringy and obsessive over what's his face, I'm just like same girl, same.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can relate.
so yeah, I
I
just
like that.
gotta give her a little shout.
I had like a
Okay,
moment
what is
whenever, well, I kind of related to Michael Scott because when I was at work, like, it was a very decisive based like job, as you know. And I
Totally.
got to the point to where, which like hopefully this doesn't, ruin my credibility of being rehireable and all, but I started using an online genie to help me make decisions. So
What?
yeah, I was like, should I go do this? Yes or no? And then I would ask this online genie, and then it would guide me throughout the day on what tasks I should tackle first. Which I mean, I guess it was all time based stuff, so I could do one thing first or another thing. You know what I mean? Like as long as I got it all done. So it just kind of guided me through structuring the day.
You used a computer to decide how to
An online
operate your
genie,
professional life?
an online genie, and then
Oh,
yes. So
I'm
imagine
shook.
imagine how your experience was with me and then how I got to this point where I was using an online genie. Like we did a lot of transforming throughout the years.
Wow, you were crushing it.
Mhm.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Okay. What is your biggest social media pet peeve?
I was thinking about that, and I think we kind of talked about it, or I guess just because it's something that I've said recently, is it may be like crying for a photo.
Oh, okay.
Or
Yeah.
crying, editing it, and then putting some music to it, and then posting that. You know what I mean? Like those TikToks. Like
Yeah.
that's one that I'm not sure if I'm there yet, you know?
Or if you'll ever get there.
Yeah. It's not really telling the same story that I think the producer intended for it to tell.
100%. Yeah, I think that mine is shoot, I was just thinking of it. Oh, okay. So whenever someone gets on their stories and they're like talking to the camera and like maybe about something serious, I don't know, like whatever it is, and they have like a fucking cat filter or dog filter on them, like
Hmm.
Amanda Stanton from The Bachelor. I don't know if you know who she is, but years ago I followed her. I haven't followed her in a long time because she was just doing it too much.
Hmm.
But she would post like the longest story that you can absolutely post, talking to the camera wearing a stupid dog filter
I hate
about
that.
like
That's a really good
about
one though.
well, and it's just like, hey guys, like I'm going through a breakup right now. Like I'm going through a lot. I'm so sad, like blah, blah, blah. And you have this animal filter on you. Like you look so stupid. Like, I'm
Hmm.
sorry if you look ugly, and that's the only reason anyone would put that filter on is because you look ugly in the moment. So you feel you need a filter. Um,
Hmm.
like maybe just don't post the story. Maybe if you need to let something out, get a little Instagram picture and then put it as your caption. Like,
Right.
I don't know, like if you feel like you need to release that stuff, because I do it all the time, and I get it, and I'm not judging you for like sharing things about your life. I mean, here we are
Your
podcasting.
style is just
So,
off.
yeah, but we're not doing it with like a little toucan filter. Like,
Hmm.
we don't need that. I'm not here for it, and it pisses me off.
I also will just like to tie it all up. I think just low quality is another thing, you know.
Oh, we hate the androids. If you have an android, stay off social media. They look robotic, like computerized. It's awful. I
Hmm.
can't. I cannot. I can't and I shan't. So
Then don't do it. Don't
I
do it.
won't. She's an iPhone girl. Okay. What's your favorite thing about each other?
So whenever I saw that, my first thing that came to mind was your laugh. I do love your laugh. Your
Okay.
laugh is really solid. Well, and like your laugh is good,
Your laugh
and
is solid. Thank you.
this is like a one-on-one moment for us. We're like give each other
Totally
feedback.
getting feedback.
Well, I think that your laugh is good along with your sense of humor, which is important too, you know?
Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you. Yeah, I definitely especially when something's really funny, I get like the wheezing laugh where I just like
That's
can't
always
breathe, and
good.
it's more just like a like you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I'm just hyperventilating essentially.
I
I
think
love a
too,
good
though, not to like put two out there, but I feel like whenever you work with someone, you spend a lot of time with that person, and I think for me,
totally.
like it's hard for me not to get tired of somebody. Like I'm like there's you meet a lot of people and there's only a short list of people that you can spend a lot of time with and not get tired of. So
Totally.
like you pass that test. I feel like I can spend a lot of time with you and I don't get like tired or anything. Even though we took a lot of breaks. We take a lot of breaks.
We did take a lot of breaks, but we are out here spending that quality time.
But yeah, I like that.
So my favorite thing, I was thinking about this earlier and now I'm like, I mean, how do I forget my favorite thing about you? But I think one, you do always make me laugh and we just like have fun. And I think that
hmm
that's like,
The chemistry, baby.
yeah. Like we just, it sounds kind of stupid, but we just like vibe. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
with you, I feel like I don't need to like try and it's just kind of like whatever. And I like that.
hmm I feel
Like
that.
I just feel like you're always like, you're good vibes. Like you're not trying to like stir up the drama. You're not trying to like cause any problems. Like you're just here for a good time. And I think that's the best.
Love that. Thank
Um,
you.
let me give number two. So the second is that I think that even when, and this may go into another, actually the next question, but like, even when we don't like maybe see eye to eye on something, like you always provide good insight and you kind of like challenge me to think further. So I appreciate that.
Wow.
And I just think you're the best. Good
Thank
vibes
you.
always. Yeah, you're
Wow.
welcome. And obviously the abs, like we love the
Thank you,
did
thank you, thank you,
everyone
thank you.
did everyone see Dakota's Instagram the other day at Dakota Etheridge?
I literally was just like trying to hoe us out. I'm trying to sell my body for the pod. So
Honestly, I love that. We love selling our body for
that
a
picture,
cloud.
I deem that picture like kind of the peak of like pictures that exist for me.
Oh, that's like top tier. Like
It really is.
it's a great photo.
I challenged it with me like holding on to that palm tree looking like a stripper on
Yeah,
it, but those are the
love that.
two. Mm-hmm.
It's just like those are those moments.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Okay, so next one is what is one thing you guys will never agree on?
I was trying to think of that. Can you think of one that we'll never
So
agree on?
no, what I was gonna say is like we don't always see eye to eye, but like we communicate and have conversations around like if we are thinking different things so that we can kind of like try to understand what the other person is thinking and come to a middle ground. So I think that like we're we're honestly pretty balanced and I think part of it is just because like not to toot our horn but toot toot we're very chill people and so like
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you and I are like out here trying to like cause problems and like fight.
I think,
I
yeah, for
mean,
sure.
and
Well, I think what you're saying too, though, is we're chill people, but at the same time, I think that we're both alphas. You know what I mean? Like we're both alphas. We're both opinionated. We're both like
absolutely,
independent creators. You know what I mean? And we're doing something that's
totally,
shared. So like we have had
100%
moments where our inspiration like hasn't always gone
clashed.
in. Yeah, like our inspiration has clashed. But what we've learned to do is like I think things that like I've heard us in the past is like whenever we communicated in one style, we didn't fully understand what someone was saying. So then we like acknowledge that and we changed our communication style between text and like a like phone
Totally.
conversation. And then also just like finding ways to yeah, collaborate better. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think especially, I mean, whenever we worked together in Dallas, we just took breaks when we were not seeing eye to eye. Like we did not communicate. We were just like, you know, we're just gonna go on a break, and we wouldn't talk for like maybe an hour or two, and then we'd be like, so like, I think we're good now. I need someone to go to lunch with, so like, come with me.
hey, like,
Um,
are we good now? I need someone to schedule my like clinic appointment at Walgreens.
100%. No, but I think that in the like since we started recording, we like in the beginning kind of did that. Like I know I
hmm
like there were things I didn't agree on that I just kind of held in and then we had a nice little pause for a cause moment, had a great like talk through, and ever since I think we started having little business meetings is what we call them,
Mm-hmm.
on the phone where we're actually talking through our thoughts instead of just texting them. Like sometimes we do text them, but then we'll kind of circle back typically, especially if we're not seeing eye to eye. But I feel like ever since the last few months, at least, like we haven't really been in that
Mm-mm.
situation. We're just kind of
No,
like
not at all.
we're kind of flowing. We just, I mean, not to brag, but like we're perfect. So
The chemistry, baby.
absolutely. Okay. What is your biggest wedding pet peeve?
I like
Do
this
you have
question. These
one?
are, I can't decide. I think, do you have one?
Okay. Yeah, so my of course. she was a she
One? I have
was
so many.
she was a bridesmaid in multiple weddings in one year. Like I and a maid of honor to boot.
Mm-hmm.
I think my number one pet peeve, and this is something that like will not happen at my wedding, is whenever the toasts are happening, if everyone doesn't have champagne. Like
Mm.
that makes me angry. Or at least the bridal party. If the bridal party doesn't have champagne, that makes me mad. Just because I think it's kind of like it's kind of weird. Like
Mm-hmm.
toast like doing like a hey, I'm gonna like read this toast or like whatever, this like maid of honor speech or father of the bride speech, and I'm like holding a water glass. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think that like get at least the 9 people at the head table champagne, and
Yeah,
then
something
and
bubbling.
and then the father of the bride, yeah, like
Yeah.
it could be sparkling cider, it's fine, like that's fine, if you don't drink. But yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, it's the fact that, like, I think whenever someone's planning their wedding, like, you really are in control of like what you want to do at your wedding. Like, if you want to do the like all the dances, cutting the cake, like the speeches there, like who's talking, the little leg
Mm-hmm.
garter thing. But like, I think if you're deciding all that stuff, and then in the moment you're not like kind of leaning into it, and you're just kind of like, oh, like this is dumb, then you should have just taken it out, you know?
Oh yeah,
Like I
like
think if there's something that you're not into or you're not like feeling, then just like organize around that to where like the new traditional is to just be untraditional and create it however you want it to be, you know? Like there
yeah,
is no structure to a wedding, and there's a lot of avenues of good ideas to like fill it, you know? So don't do
yeah,
anything you don't want to do. It's not required. Like this is your day, so make it your thing,
yeah. No, that's
you
good.
know? Yeah.
I fully agree. I mean, granted, I've never been a bride, but I like it's your day. Like just
Mhm.
just be happy, like be excited,
And set yourself
and
up for
like
success, you know, to like
totally.
only have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, like if something about it is giving you anxiety, like don't do that thing. Like it,
Hmm.
and if that's the ceremony, then you shouldn't be marrying whoever
Do
you're trying to
you
marry.
do you have anything like notable moments from like the best wedding you've ever been to?
See, I feel like all of the weddings I've been to have been great for like different reasons. Like
Hmm.
they've all been like very different experiences, I guess, with like different groups of people, or if it was the same people, like it meant something kind of different, I guess.
Hmm.
Like Tay's wedding was the first wedding, or no, it was the first one in a long time. And like that one was so fun because it was a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a while. And then like my friend group, like one of them was like the first time I was ever a bridesmaid. And then the next one was my sister's, and it was my first time being maid of honor. And then Hannah's was next, and like that was just so much fun. I had never been to Georgia. I was a bridesmaid, and it was like a group of girls that I didn't know. You know what I mean? So it was
Hmm.
such a good time. And then my friend Sarah's, hers was in Cancun, so it was like the first like
I see where you come from.
tropical
Yeah, they all
destination
kind of
wedding.
bring
So
something
it's
different.
yeah, like they've all been wildly different, and I thought they were all fantastic, and I had so much fun. So I can't pick a favorite.
Yeah, I think for me, like there's always something that is really fun about like your family members' weddings because you kind of feel like famous, like it's your party, or even like my like
Yeah,
closest friend Blake, like it was almost the same feeling where it's like, oh, like this is like
yeah.
like I'm
That's
associated to this person at a whole nother level. It's a good time, and like I'm being seen in a great way. It
Yeah, that's true. Because now, I mean, like, obviously, my sister's was
was
amazing
so
because it
fun.
was
Yeah.
like I was the maid of honor. I had a really fucking awesome speech. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
got complimented by the people at the venue because of my speech, saying it was like the best one they had heard. Like,
I love
so
that.
yeah. So, like, that was really fun, especially because it was like me and like all my cousins were just like drunk together, vibing out. Like, I got to,
Mm-hmm.
watch my dad like give a speech. Like, it was just a very unique
It's
experience. So, you're
mm-hmm.
right. Like, I would be wrong to not say that was probably my favorite, but I think it's because of like the family touch and like
You're
almost all,
connected to every part of it, you
yeah,
know?
and like yeah, and I would say like almost all, not all, but a lot of my close friends were there anyway. So it was
Mm-hmm.
like they were still there. I was still like surrounded by my people, but then also like my family. So
So I said that all because I want to say the word, but my friend Johnny Daly's wedding, it was the best wedding
oh,
I've ever been to. It was like,
okay.
as far as like not one that I'm like so associated to it to where it's like my own party as well,
Yeah.
because it was like the first gay wedding I had been to. They had outfit changes. The wedding party had outfit changes. They were flowing alcohol like a wedding that I had never seen before. They called it like every drink had something funny. They called like I was introduced to like gay water right whenever you walked in. There was just like all this random ass
Oh,
stuff.
I
Their
love that.
mom, his mom was like on a chair, like dancing to Bodak Yellow. Like everyone, like whenever the like main people associated to the wedding are like out dancing, having a good time, it draws
Yeah.
everybody in, and that's like a huge
Oh,
moment. And so the fact that they had that to where like the parents were going hard, like if you can
yeah.
achieve that, everyone's having a good time, you know, because you kind
Yeah.
of like the vibes start at the top, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So,
that was actually Marissa, one of my best friends, like her wedding. That was like how you explained it is exactly how hers was. Like
mm-hmm.
one of their family members literally older lady like poured a bottle of champagne down her chest. Like it was
Yes.
it was wild. Like my friend Jenna's fiance like was just like taking bottles of champagne from the bar and bringing them to the dance floor. Like
Mm-hmm.
it was, that one was probably one of the craziest. Sarah's got really crazy too because we were in Mexico and everyone was doing shots and stuff, so it was super fun. But yeah, that
Yeah, if you can
yeah,
achieve that, that's where the best ones are.
yeah, no, I fully agree. Yeah, all the weddings were great though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dakota, do you have siblings? Any sister-in-laws? Please tell me about them.
Shout out to my sister-in-laws, Morgan and Mallory. Yeah, my sister-in-laws are the best. They're like perfect humans, and they're
Oh,
the most fun. Like,
we love that for you. We
yeah, just a
we
lot of pressure because they're literally like anyone that knows my family, they literally are like perfect human beings. So, like,
oh,
you know, they're both so fun. And
I
it's
mean,
like cool for me to have like as close of a relationship as I feel like I do with like your sister-in-laws or like who your siblings marry, you know? It's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's the
Happy for
best.
you.
We're planning a little girls trip, hairstyle.
We love that. Okay, Dakota, where is your first road trip going to be when you start the hashtag van life?
Great question. Great question. I think right now I kind of want to go to like the Pacific West Coast. Like I want to go to Oregon, Seattle, because that's where the weather seems to be best right now. And then once the
Yeah,
weather shifts, like I want to go down south and see the friends and the fam. And of course, Arizona.
just like pop on over. Did you know I was born in Oregon?
Yeah, I remember.
Just
West
pop
Coast,
on
West
up.
Coast.
Maybe you could stay with my aunt if you'd like. Pop on
I
over.
may need like a little shower.
Oh, yeah,
But
no, the
yeah, that's the
Pacific.
plan. I want to go there first. I feel like that'd
Yeah.
be a good idea.
Yeah, it depends on what time of year. Like you probably don't want to go in like November, December.
Yeah, I want to be in the South for that time,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Totally. Totally. Yeah, yeah. Cool. I like it.
Cool, 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 cool.
Um Next question was from my friend Katie, will you come visit me? Yeah, once the Rona's done, I'll do some traveling. What to do when a guy ghosts me? So I think
We touched that on the ghosting episode.
yeah, we talked about it on the ghosting episode,
There's
but
three tenets to it.
absolutely. And I think that my biggest takeaway, which I was very much in disagreement with, but like really should resonate with, is just move on. If someone ghosts you, like screw them. Like
Mm-hmm.
you are so much, you are, if someone is out here ghosting and you're a grown adult, I've thought about this a little bit after we recorded that episode, and it's like we recorded it and then released it literally like a month later, so I feel like my perspective in life kind of changed during that time.
Mm-hmm. We grow
And
real fast.
no, and I like I'm just right now I'm operating at the like bad bitch energy, so it's just kind of like if you are a grown adult and you're ghosting people instead of like having a conversation and just saying like, hey, like I don't think we're gonna work because of this, like,
Totally
or like,
agree.
hey, like it was fun chatting, but like I'm kind of over it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, if they can't even have a conversation about like something like that, how are you supposed to build a life together?
well, yeah, and it's like you honestly, you don't want that person anyways who's out
Yeah.
there trying to operate like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've learned since we recorded that episode. That's called
Mm-hmm.
hashtag growth.
The case is closed on that one.
Totally. But do go listen back at the episode if you want like some stories. How do you stay motivated with a workout and diet plan?
I think for me, I like to change things up a lot, a lot. Like, I think of my cousin Jamie, she gives me the hardest time, but like, I go from a little boxing membership to just my own independent membership at the gym where I'm listing rates to a boot camp thing. And then I not like, that's just the working out. I changed my diet from
Right.
pescatarian to vegan to like eating whatever I want to not like day to day, but meal to meal. So
Totally.
I think for me, like food is fuel, but then when you want something that's pleasurable, eat something pleasurable. But like,
Yeah, like
don't eat,
don't
don't eat something that you just kind of like, and it's not fuel at all. You know?
yeah, yeah, like respect your body but don't restrict it.
I love when there's like the same letters going on.
A little R and R. A
Yeah.
little R and R. Um Yeah, I think that for me, I've been very loyal to the Tone and Sculpt app for like a year and a half at this point. But I did want to kind of switch it up, and I found this girl on Instagram. Her name is Ainsley, and she does like custom programs, and then it's like a workout program and a meal plan, and it's 4 weeks, and she kind of just like breaks down everything based on like your weight, your height, like what you want to achieve, all of that. So it's very much tailored to you. I bought it like a year ago. And I never, I never did it because I was just like so into the Tone and Sculpt app, which
Mm-hmm.
I still do love. But I think that now, since I've obviously learned a lot more about working out, like I can kind of guide a lot more of my workouts, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily need a plan. But this week, actually, I decided to start it because I'm like, well, I paid a shit ton of money for it. Like it's not cheap. So I was like, you know what, I might as well start the workout plan. So I'm only 3 days in, like very, very new into it, but I'm loving it. Like two of the three workouts, I active calories burned over 1,000 calories. The other workout, I burned almost 900 calories. So it's like you're like putting in work. It's
Mm-hmm.
tiring, but I do like the accountability piece of a workout plan. especially when you're getting started. I think
Mm-hmm.
that once you get to a point with workout that like you're committed to it, and like for me, and I know for you as well, like working out makes me happy, and like
Mm-hmm.
that's where I thrive. Like that is when I'm in my best mental space, when I'm working out. Like if I take a long break from the gym, I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
like I just feel lazy. I feel like I'm in a bad mental space. So I think that like when you're first getting started, it can be kind of a mental challenge of like, oh, like I need to push myself to like get up and like go to the gym and whatever. But like for me, like when I am waking up at 4 a.m. every day so that I have time to go get my workout in, like I'm not upset, because I know I'm about to go do something that like,
Benefits you.
yeah, yeah. And it just like,
Mm-hmm.
it's a great way to like kick off the day. My confidence has skyrocketed in the last few years, a lot, because I think like I'm spending a lot of time like working out, and like the mental benefits you see, I think are amazing too. So I think that like once you get into the rhythm, like it's not really even about like staying motivated, I guess, like because it's
Mm-hmm.
just like it's a part of my routine. Like
For sure. It's
it's
like
not some
brushing your teeth, you know?
yeah, yeah, it's like it's not something that I question. And I get DM'd a lot about this because I am very open about like my journey. And so when people are like, "Well, what motivates you?" and I'm like, "Well, it's just like you said, it's like making my bed or like brushing my
Mm-hmm.
teeth. Like I just do it. It's a part of me." At the same time, like if I wake up on a day and I'm like, you know what, I'm not feeling it, I don't go,
Mm-hmm.
because like,
Well, to piggyback on that too, something that's helped me that I struggled with when it came to just like certain workouts or certain days where I wasn't feeling it is I used to like commit myself to doing all of these things on leg day, all of these things on like X, Y, and Z days.
yeah,
And some days I just didn't feel it and I would push it off to the end of the day and then I would just go and it would not be fun or whatever that looked like.
yeah,
But then once I kind of accepted that like anything is better than nothing, and just like if I wanted to do 30 minutes, that 30 minutes was better than doing nothing rather than going for like 2 hours or whatever, like however
yeah,
that looked. And that's
yeah.
helped me
No,
a lot.
that's actually super true. And that's like another thing where I guess when I say I don't go, it's like if I'm like tired and I don't feel good, and it's like this actually isn't going to benefit me if I do go,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't. But I think to your point, whenever I do go, like there's always going to be days where it's like you're just not really feeling it. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're on the treadmill or like you're lifting or whatever you're doing, and you're just like, "You know what? I'm just like really not feeling this." So like I'll do what I want to do, but then I don't like get mad at myself basically if I didn't complete the full workout. Like because at least to your point, like at least I'm doing
Better
something.
than nothing.
um
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then maybe I'll just go like kind of like sit in the sauna or something for 10-15 minutes to just like get a little sweat in the sauna I just kind of like meditate anyway. So
Same. I love that.
it's a little chill moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think kind of echoes with the diet. Like I try not to be too harsh on myself, but I also try to be conscious of what I'm eating. I think that I'm not as great at my diet plan as I am working out, but we all have our opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that.
If you could live anywhere for the rest of your life, where would it be?
It may be in Denver, to be honest.
Oh, she's
Like I
putting her
love
stakes in the ground.
I mean, like as I'm acquiring like four wheels to like move around in frequently, like I think if I had to choose one place to be forever, I guess if that's the question, Denver like provides a lot of what I need. Like
Yeah.
as far as like fun activities, it's amazing because
Yeah.
I think any city you can go out to eat, you can go to the movie theaters, like if it exists in Hot Springs, like it exists anywhere in the world, which is where I grew
Totally.
up. So like the fact that I have mountains and like snowboarding and those things, like that's really important to me in the same sense that someone that lives at a beach or whatever, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's Arizona, like
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix, Scottsdale area specifically. I'm happy here. I love it here. I love the weather,
Mm-hmm.
and I think like well, like we do have mountains and stuff, but like you can get basically anywhere you need within like 5 hours, entertainment
Mm-hmm.
wise. Vegas, LA, San Diego. So it's like there's a lot you can
Can
reach.
reach. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just like the
Um,
desert though too. The desert feels clean to me.
yeah. Yeah. No, I love Arizona. I'll be here forever unless she pops over to LA for a hot minute. Who knows? What are your top two deal breakers for potential love interest slash dating?
I don't have like things listed. I can think of one where I had like a falling out with someone that I had seen maybe like five or more times, you know. But it was
Yeah.
an individual that like I feel like I'm like a really honestly like a pretty easy communicator, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this person never stopped talking so much so that like I had a hard time getting like was I even
A word in.
participating or was this like just an
Yeah.
announcement, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's crazy because like I had a lot in common, but at the end of the day it was just like well like and what's going on here, you know what I mean? And I don't know what the deep rooted problem was there.
Yeah.
But like I just didn't I was having a good time but like not a great time because I didn't know if I was like honestly in participation of what was going on.
Yeah. Just like a
Even though I
lack of
felt very like admired, you know what I mean? But I just didn't I
totally.
wasn't getting that. It was weird.
Yeah. Just like a lack of balance.
Yeah.
I think for me, not respecting my time, that is like number one, like in all aspects of life. Like, I'm a very prompt person, and
Mm,
anyone who it's not even like the way I say it is like you better respect my time, but like respect everyone's time. Like
I love that.
you I think that anyone who operates and like shows up places late and is like it's rude. It's not like it's not cute to be
Selfish.
like yeah, like it's just like you're to me being late consistently like am I late every like once in a blue moon? Yes, like things happen, but I typically plan to be somewhere 15 minutes before I need to be there so that I'm early, I'm ready, I can just chill out, like I'm good to go. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that like are the opposite of that. I just think it's rude and yeah, like selfish, kind of like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
So
The
I
only
think
other
that's
thing I would add to mine is like someone who is like frequently judgmental. I don't like
okay.
that. Like if like I'm a confidant, but they're talking shit about like everyone, even people like strangers, people they know. I'm just not into that at all.
Yeah, I agree with that. My other one would be I don't know. I don't know. I mean, okay, yeah, I think this is probably a deal breaker. Like if you can't make me laugh and you can't keep up with me because I know and I think we all who are listening know I'm very aggressive and I have a strong personality once I get to know you. Like once I'm turned up, like I'm at 100 all the time and that's just, like that's how I am. So like I can't I can't do timid. I really can't because
Mm-hmm.
I like not to be rude, but like I will trample all over you. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can't do that. So
You know what?
you got
Another
got to keep up with me. You got to be able to make me laugh. Good vibes.
Yeah. I just thought of another Fallout where they were just super like almost structured. Like I like structure, you know what I mean? But they were so structured that they didn't like bend, you know, like at all. As far as
Yeah.
like
I
when
hate
they
that.
were allowed to hang out, what like when they needed to go to bed, like there was just like I was just like, okay, like you seem
If
wildly successful in your individuality, but like there doesn't seem to be like what are you looking for, you know? I don't know. It was
yeah,
weird.
basically if their bedtime was 7 p.m. they better be They better be in their bedroom at 6:59.
And this is when I was working nights, so I was
Yeah,
just like,
that's
okay, well,
yeah. Yeah.
see you
I mean,
never.
I do like scheduling and I like structure. But like there's got to be a point where you go with the flow as well. Like there's got to
Yeah,
be balance. I feel that. How quickly can you fall in love?
not at all. Like not quickly at all. It takes a long time.
And I'm polar opposite. She's such a lover. I fall in love in like 5 seconds. Like
I think I
truly.
can. I
It's a
think I know.
problem.
Like I think I know when I have chemistry with someone really fast. Like even like on maybe like the
Totally.
first encounter, But
Yeah.
I think as far as that goes, it takes a long time.
Yeah, no, not for me.
Yeah.
I've had boyfriends that I think we said I love you within like a week and a half or 2 weeks. Like
This is a Q&A,
I
but
w-
let's Q&A the listeners and ask like when is an appropriate length of time to say I love you? Because
yeah,
like
I
that's
love
kind of
that.
I don't know. I don't know what the
That's
right
good.
answer is. Everyone has their
Well,
own.
but like to my defense, I didn't say it first. Like, was I feeling it? Yes, but I was
Mm,
not first. I wasn't first in line.
I hate the pressure of like following it up with like a ditto,
I would never say ditto if
I
someone
know,
said
but
I
you know
love
what I'm
you.
saying.
I
Where it's
love
just
you.
like
Ditto.
ditto.
That would be the absolute worst.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I fall in love too fast. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a lover.
no reason to be.
Do you have any tips for young professionals
Set goals and pursue them.
and use a genie to make your
Yeah.
decisions? Yeah, I
I
think
think even in that situation though, like if you think about it, that in a place that was extremely like I had to do everything like every day and was fairly similar, like that
yeah,
provided some sort of variability in my day, but it kept me fresh and engaged. So like
yeah.
I was still accomplishing my goals, but like I was approaching them in a different way
Switching it
every
up.
day. You like that?
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel that.
But I
I
think
think
like goals are important, and I think
yeah,
setting them and even if you don't know what you want, like having some sort of like something on the side where you are at least improving is important
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I think that what the quote unquote professional world is these days is a lot different than what it used to be. And I think that there used to be so many expectations of like, okay, you should be like a banker or like, like standard professions. And I think that now there's a lot of different routes that you can go. So one thing I would say is just like do what you want to do, not what like you think your family expects of you or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it may be. Like do something that makes you happy because you're going to be in it for a long time potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And not to say you can't change career, right? But I think that like you and I both were in a role that like I'm not passionate about. And so I think that like have I learned and grown a lot through my career? 100%. I'm very thankful for it. I've had experiences that I don't think I can get anywhere else. But I think especially with like this podcast and blogging, like that's very much for me like a career goal of mine. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's
For
that's what
sure.
I want to be doing. And some people may not see that as me being a professional, and people may see our podcast as just like for funsies, but like we put in a lot of work, and like it
Mm-hmm.
it it, it takes a lot of time. So to me it's like this, while it is fun and I enjoy it, which is the point, it's very much a business for me too, because I see the growth potential. So yeah, I mean, I just think like go after what you want to do. Don't take no for an answer. Like chase your dreams, and like
Have
figure out what's
confidence
gonna
in
work.
yourself.
Yeah,
That's the most
yeah,
important thing too, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But the other thing too, I think as like a non-inspiring tip, to be honest, is like if you're in an environment where you're working with others and you have a boss and like people are evaluating you, my like number one tip, no matter how good you are, is to document everything. Like
Oh,
document
yep.
everything. Don't rely or trust anyone to just like don't assume anyone is like tracking all the great things you do. Like you need to track that yourself.
Yep.
That is
Yep.
like not rule
Fully
number
agree.
one. And
Fully
I'm not
agree.
good at that.
Yeah, I'm super bad at it.
I think
Super
everyone
bad at it.
is, because you just assume your hard work is being acknowledged, but like there's other people who are doing the same, and if you kind of have more factual notes over the
Data.
course of years, yep, that is gonna serve you a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot.
100%. Okay, changing gears a little bit. Thoughts on sugar daddies and the sugaring culture?
I'm into it. I love it. I want to like I have a sweet tooth, you know what I mean? So like if someone wants to if someone wants to like share some sugar with me, that would be great, you know? I think it's more like fun for like someone if they can actually achieve that, you know what I mean? But I think if I were actually breaking it down for myself, like I think I would have a problem being a daddy because I would just be like, "Oh, like are you not ambitious or like are you not independent?" Like I would love for someone to
Totally.
maybe have their moment, and then like if I could support someone, I would love to be able to do that. But then also like I don't think I would ever be in a position where like I wasn't independent, I was relying on someone else or like
Totally. Yeah, I think for me, like absolutely here for it. Send me money. I'm into it.
yeah.
That's all I've got to say on that. Send me money. You know my Instagram at kt.head. Biggest pet peeve in the professional world. Mine is time. Like same thing as dating. Dating, professional world, friendships, anything, like respect my time. Respect
Yeah,
everyone's time.
I love that. I'm gonna just piggyback off that one because I support it.
How many chances is too many?
3
Okay.
or maybe 4 because like baseball,
Okay.
but that's still a
Well,
lot. Like that's still a lot.
wait. If it was like baseball, it would be three.
I know, but 4 is too many.
Oh, yeah, okay, okay.
That's
I
why I
gotcha.
started saying 3, and then I was like, oh, maybe 4 because baseball.
Gotcha. So
But I
like
still think
one,
that's even a lot. I think the real answer is like it depends on the situation and the
yeah.
caliber of of the strike. You know.
Yeah. No, I think it's yeah, it's completely situational. I think like and I think how much time has passed. Like if it's
There's a
if
whole
it's
equation.
yeah, so like if it's within the same year and it's like you're bouncing back and forth, you're on and you're off, like get over it, move on. But I think that like if you dated and then you break up and then maybe you, I don't know, never talk, like you don't talk, or you get back together again, break up again, and then you don't talk for a while and you see each other out 10 years later, whatever it is, and you guys really connect, like go for it. Don't be like, oh, well,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 years ago we broke up, so this is never going to work. Like we're completely different people at that point. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I
Totally.
think that it's really situational. Like I can't really put a number on it. I think if it's in the same year, like two times is good. And then like if you're going back for round three in the same year, like come on, like
Mm-hmm.
figure it out. Especially I think when you're in your later 20s, 30s, like come on, we're adults. I think there's more like chaotic energy when you're in college or you're in high school. So like at that point, like do whatever the hell you want. Like I don't care if you want to take back the same person 5,000 times. Like you're gonna annoy the shit out of your friends, but like do whatever you want to do because that person is not going to be your person probably down the road.
Right.
But I think if you're an adult with a career and you're doing things with your life, like I think if something happens twice in the same time span, like you should be good. Like put some ice on it. If that person is your person, they're going to come back to you.
Mm-hmm. I love the phrase "put some ice on it."
We love that. Put some ice on it. Okay, last question. Is family still family and should you keep them around no matter what, even if they're toxic?
I mean, it's hard for me to say like you should get rid of them, you know what I mean? Just because like I don't have really any toxic close family, you know? I guess I can think of a family member who has like a toxic family and like they kind of have moments where they're speaking and not speaking because that's what's healthiest for her, you know. So it's hard to say. I think that you kind of have to know when things are negatively impacting you and either take a break or like have a full on separation if that's what it comes to. Like I don't think that'll ever happen in my life, you know, but and you don't wish that on anyone else's, but because it's a really hard thing to go through. Bad things are, at the end of the day, bad things, and they're not aiding you. They're not helping you.
Yeah. I think that in my opinion,
That's a
like
good question. That's a hard question, you know?
yeah, yeah. I think in my opinion, like set boundaries and just
Mm-hmm.
like be wise with like what is going to work for you. Like if they're toxic to a point where it's going to like mentally or physically hurt you, then absolutely like that person should probably be cut out of your life. Like that's a decision that you need to make like if it's impacting you that much. But I think that like if it's more low key toxic and they're just kind of like annoying or like whatever you want to call it, like I think just set boundaries as to like, okay, I'm only going to talk to this person in these kind of situations, or like I won't allow this to happen kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that again, like this is another, I feel like almost like situational kind of
For sure.
question. Like do what you know is right. I think with almost anything, like trust your intuition because like you know what you should do. Like you might not like the answer that your heart is telling you, but like you know what you
Mm-hmm.
should
For
be
sure.
doing. So yeah, I think just set boundaries, do what you feel like you need to do, and roll with it. Well, we just let her rip for like a long while. So, thank you everyone for submitting questions. Really appreciate it. That was kind of fun. They weren't just like what's your favorite color, you know?
Well, I think it's just like fun to go through a set of topics. Yeah, it's been fun to do little shorties all over.
Totally. You all are welcome to send us questions whenever. Like, send us random questions if you have them, and we can kind of just like randomly bring them up, or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they'll become a topic that we discuss for a full episode. I don't know. As always, thank you for listening. Please follow us on Instagram at allegedly Katie Dakota. Follow Dakota at Dakota Etheridge, and myself at kt.hen. And we will see you in the next one. Thank you, everyone.